Welcome back to Hearing Things with Julie and
Nice.
We're so happy you're here. We're going right into it.
Go for it.
And we are going to talk about assistive technology. Helpful, not so helpful. Depends. Mm-hmm. Do you want to start because you're kind of the tech guy?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you want to introduce this for everybody? And
so this came from when we saw Star Wars at the Pops, and so Symphony Hall has a hearing loop, and so I was so excited to actually use an accessible venue. And so you can the hearing loop is just a copper coil that's looped around the venue, and it's connected to the AV system. And so instead of the sound coming through the speakers and then going into our hearing aids, it goes through the system, and our hearing aids become the speakers. So it's one less hop, and so we don't have to worry about noise. What are you laughing at? I'm talking here.
Keep going.
All right. So you don't have to worry about like losing something over the air, because you do. The farther from the source a sound goes, the weaker it becomes. And so being able to turn our hearing aids onto the T-coil channel and be able to like listen to it directly, it's ostensibly better. And so I don't know what's going on over here.
Thinking about what we talked about before we came on the show.
Cut it out. So we turned it on. So we turned on the T-coil, listening to the Pops. And we were kind of disappointed by the sound, because it was kind of tinny, and the range of sound was much lower. And we could hear, like, because it was near a microphone, when Keith Lockhart like turned the page, we could hear the page turn.
Just to be clear for everybody, we were listening to the music from all of the Star Wars movies.
Right.
We weren't watching the actual Star Wars movies.
Yeah, so we had the orchestra.
Give a little more of a context there.
Yep.
It was weird because we alternated popping onto the T-coil and popping off. And what I noticed when I was on the T-coil, it was definitely tinnier, but I had a better time hearing the high register instruments, like the piccolo, the flutes, sounded much richer to me than when I was off the T-coil. But when I was on the T-coil, the drums and all that stuff sounded like it was coming through a tin can. It was the weirdest thing. And I don't know why that was, but when I took off the T-coil, the sound wasn't as rich, but I could hear all of the parts.
Interesting. Yeah.
The other part to that, which has nothing to do with assistive technology, but I thought of this, and I thought of it that night, and I think we talked about it. How much am I hearing the music, and how much am I remembering the music and supplementing it because I know it so well?
I bet there's a good part. That's a good part of it.
Kind of an interesting thing. We don't really will ever know the answer to that, but that was something else I considered as I was listening, using the T-coil and not using it.
Yeah.
So that was one instance where the intention was great that it's there. Maybe for some people it worked better than others. But it wasn't worth it to me to have it on the entire time.
Yeah, I turned it off as well. Yeah. And hearing loss is very personal, right? Like we've always talked about. And some people, they need it, right? If their devices that don't amplify enough, they're not going to be able to hear what they want to hear. And so the T-coil gives them something. I believe it's a smaller range of sound. And so everything's kind of like encapsulated right there. So you can hear better, because it's going directly to the hearing aid or the implant. And so it's an interesting question. So some of the issue is definitely the technology. And so if you've heard of something called Auracast, it's a different sound. It uses a specific type of Bluetooth. And so the physical infrastructure of the assistive technology is different. And the copper coils have been around for decades. I think they date back to like the 50s, it's very old. So that's probably why, because you're using decades-old technology, and it was great at the time. But like hearing aids were analog at that time, so I bet that's a lot of it. Because these are digital hearing aids, which has a different soundscape, I think. So it's older technology. Older technology doesn't work as well as newer technology, but Auracast isn't widely available yet. And so I'll be really interested to see because I need hearing aids that have the receiver in order to have an equivalent experience, and I don't have them yet because not all hearing aids have the Bluetooth receiver that they need for the Auracast. But it was an interesting experiment for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's one type of assistive technology. The second is probably the most commonly known to everybody is closed captions.
Yeah.
So we have closed and open captions, which we did a whole thing on this way, way, way back in season 1, a long time ago. And see if I remember this correctly. Closed captions is when it's entered on a pre-recorded thing, and it tends to line up better with who's speaking. Oh God, what are they? I forgot. I gotta go back and watch the episode. Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Closed captions are captions you have to turn on. Open captions are are open for everybody.
I always thought it was pre-recorded versus live. Clearly, I didn't listen. We will link the
see
episode.
What I deal with? See what I deal with?
And we'll link the episode to the open and closed captions when Brad so eloquently explained it, and I so eloquently didn't listen to him. But anyway, so captions is probably the most familiar piece of accessible technology that most people know about. They're great. I can't watch TV without them. I can't watch movies without them. I can no longer function without them as a backup to auditory. The issue is it's not always accurate. It says some crazy things sometimes. There's a delay. That's my biggest frustration. I'll be watching the news, I don't know. The tsunami hit Massachusetts today. Ooh. And then down the bottom, the tsunami hit Massachusetts today. In the meantime, the newscaster's talking about the Red Sox at this point and how Fenway got wiped out by the tsunami.
What? No!
But I missed it, right? Because it's not authentic in the moment. So there's always that delay, which is super frustrating. And with the use of AI now, the accuracy is tricky.
Yeah.
It's different, but you can't have, someone sitting there typing really fast every time someone says something either.
Yeah.
There's no great way yet to make it consistently efficient and within the time of what you're watching.
Yeah, I mean, even CART. So CART is when someone was typing on a stenography machine. But if you don't know, especially the live shows, you don't know what terminology is going to be used. So if the person who's typing the captions doesn't understand some of the jargon or the acronyms being used or the scientific terms, you're going to get erroneous captions. AI is just as bad, really, because it has to make assumptions. One thing that really frustrates me is captions in games or something. So I'm watching the Bruins game or the Sox game or something, and the captions are right in the middle of the screen.
Right.
And so I can't see half the game.
Or if there's
the
captions off.
Yeah, so if there's stats or something, it's over the stats. So the placement of the captions for sporting events, I very rarely listen to the sporting events announcers because I can't hear them well enough and the captions are in the way. And it's definitely frustrating. So sometimes I use them. I always use them for TV shows and movies, but sporting events, I very rarely use them.
It's not worth it.
No, it's because they get in the way.
It's not worth it. They get in the way of the score. They get in the way of the action. They don't make sense.
Oh, I know. Especially hockey, right? With those Eastern European names that have 27 letters and one vowel.
Yep.
So, yeah. I feel bad if it's a live caption. I'm like, poor guy.
So the third one is Bluetooth technology, which most people use in one way or another.
Yeah.
For me, I shouldn't speak for both of us, it's been the greatest invention ever.
Yeah.
For me to be able to stream my phone calls, podcasts, music, everything from my phone directly to my hearing aids. Same at work using the Roger mic, it's a little pen-looking thing that picks up people's voices in a meeting and streams it right to my hearing aids. So the sound is right here. It's so much clearer, louder, and I feel like I can keep up with the conversation or keep up with the podcast or keep up with the music because it eliminates that struggle of lip reading and just navigating and bouncing like you're watching a tennis match trying to figure out who's speaking and saying what. So Bluetooth for me is my number one of the three we've talked about. What do you think?
So I don't know any difference. So my hearing aid usage hasn't been that as long as yours, and so I don't remember a time where I couldn't have Bluetooth.
Oh no way, that's right.
I've never had analog hearing aids. My first set were digital.
Because you've had hearing aids 23 years now?
Yeah,
years,
I got them in 2005, 2003, something like that. So
21 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've had hearing aids for 48 years at this point. So I remember way back the analog technology. You just been to digital technology, good God.
Yeah.
And then Bluetooth being introduced. So I've seen the range longer. I hadn't thought about that, but you don't know a time before it.
So I will say the one thing here is I have an iPhone, and I switched to an iPhone because they're more accessible. I did have an Android with my last set of hearing aids, and I needed it's called a Connect clip. It's similar to the Roger Pen. And I would pair the Connect clip to my Android, and then the Connect clip would send the sounds from the phone to my ears. So there's a third device.
Put it on your shirt or something.
Put it on my shirt. And so I would be able to stream phone calls and music, but it would take a third device. And so another thing to charge, right? I have to new batteries, charge my phone, charge the Connect clip, and I have to pair them to both. It was very convoluted, and it was very good. It worked very well. But it was a lot of work to work well.
Right.
And so now with the iPhone that streams directly, and I will say a lot of Android devices are now capable of doing it directly without that bridge. And I'll give a plug to HLAA. So HLA has a legislative branch, and not branch, but department, and they worked with the government to require all new cell phone manufacturers to be 100% hearing aid compatible.
That's fantastic.
But that's going forward, and I think they have 2 years to do it. So it's not.
Right.
It's
Nothing
not,
is immediate.
Right. But I'll give them major credit for that, because we needed to have regulation to get technology to make it accessible for us in an easy to use manner. Because yes, technically it was accessible, but you need to spend even more money on another device that doesn't always work, and it's something else to charge. And so to simplify the technology to give us an accessible communication device, it was great. Huge win. So
Huge
good job
win.
with HLA.
I can't live without it.
Mm-hmm.
Without the Bluetooth now, it's amazing.
It's awesome.
Been a huge boon for sure. So those are the 3 types of accessible assistive technology that we access fairly regularly. I just wanted to bring that awareness to folks that may not be aware or use it or know about it as much. But yeah,
cool. All right, so
awesome.
What do you got for books?
Okay, we're gonna go back in time, big time. I don't even think this book is even in publication anymore. It's a children's book.
Okay.
And my grandpa, growing up, had this amazing garden on the side of the house, and this garden was ridiculous. And it was his pride and joy. I used to hang out the window and pick the green beans because they would grow so high up to the second floor of the house. It was awesome. So this was his baby, and we all remember the year where Grampy went to war with the Japanese beetles. I'll never forget this. I was probably about 10. I don't know what he was out there with. He had this jug with like a...
Oh, you don't want to know.
Oh, I want to know. And he would... It was a personal vendetta. These Japanese beetles and my Grampy would go in a war all summer. He was out there shooting them one at a time. I don't know what he used, but I will tell you, the tomatoes that year were like this. And I gotta wonder what was going on out there, because we had like nuclear-sized tomatoes and beans and everything else. It was bananas. I don't remember if that was the year of the squash, but there was one year where the squash ran away from the garden. It ran out of the garden, across the backyard, around the swimming pool, and under the fence. The squash just kept going. And one of my favorite books that my grandpa used to read to me when I was a kid was called The Runaway Squash.
Oh, okay. I was
and
wondering
it's
where you were going.
American folktale, and it was put out by Little Golden Books, and it was about this farmer that had squash that just kept going and getting bigger and running away from him and kind of taking over the town. So with this being kind of getting into the harvest time of, my garden's tomatoes starting to come up now, and, you'll be watching this a little bit out from now, so that season will be over, but just kind of a nostalgic pick.
It's fun.
For me to kind of remember Grampy in his garden.
Yeah.
And
that's
the
sweet.
Runaway Squash.
I like how you can put personal touches to a book. It's always fun.
It was pretty cool.
Excellent.
I don't want to know what he was using. I don't know if my uncles know, if anybody knows what was in that jug.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, it was like World of Warfare out there. Grampy versus the Beatles. It was something to see. I mean, he'd just be out there just... Got another one! Like, okay.
Oh wow!
Tomatoes.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss.
So what do you got? Now I told my
so
kids,
I go in a completely...
The crazy Italians just made an appearance in this episode. What do you got?
I got the opposite direction. So I have Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. And yeah, I loved it. So it's very narrative style, so it's really fun. And so it was about the World's Fair in Chicago in, I think, 1890 something. I can't remember exactly the year. And so Frederick Olmsted, who was the architect of Central Park in New York City, was actually involved in building the White City. So that we don't have World Fairs anymore because we're such a smaller community. And so the World Fair was something that was built for an attraction, and different parts of the city would have people and inventions from around the world. Like Cracker Jack was invented there. There's a bunch of different things that were invented at World's Fairs. But it also tracks H.H. Holmes. I think his name is H.H. Holmes. He was basically the first serial killer in the United States, and he was killing in the World's Fair. And so some of the parts are pretty graphic. But the book was it was a great story.
Try it again. I've tried it twice.
Yeah, I mean it's not for
it's
not for everybody, because he does have a very distinctive writing style, and I like his stuff. I've read In the Garden of the Beasts was another one. It's about an ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to Germany in 1939.
Oh, jeez.
So you can see what's going on there.
What's going on there?
Yeah, so I like his style, but you do have to like his style to like the book, because the topic is kind of weighty. Most of them are, and it's not something it's not breezy at all, but the story is just fascinating. Like, the things that this guy got away with, the people, how he killed people, was just like, people weren't paying attention, right? Because you had to import all these workers into the city, and so many people got slipped through the cracks, and that was the end of them. And so I just remember really liking the book, because it was like a whoa kind of moment, but not for the faint of heart, for sure. But I did like it, and we do like to recommend books from all across the reading spectrum. We have little golden books to serial killer books.
There you go.
So, so Devil in the White City, Erik Larson.
All right.
That's all. Right.
Oh, wait. Nobody go yet. No, I have to. Okay. You still have time to donate
that's right.
to the Walk for Hearing coming up in Boston on Sunday, October 5th. We are running Team Down the Tubes, and we would love your financial support, in-person support. All the information is in the link, and it's for the HLAA. It's the only fundraiser that they have, and all of the chapters in some of the major cities have one throughout the year. And we are part of the Boston leadership team. We'll be out there supporting, and we would love to really raise a bunch of funds to put towards this incredible organization that has supported us and supports so many in so many ways, from legislature all the way down to, how to accommodate for yourself at work, things like that. So, click the link. Give us a little money.
Yeah, give us money. Yeah, give us money. Give us the money.
Give us the money.
Yeah.
I know you people out there. I know some of you go out for drinks every week. I know you take Ubers. Okay? I know you're buying little fancy snacks at Trader Joe's. You can sacrifice a bag of peanuts and give me a little bit of money for this organization. Okay?
Careful.
Terrific. I look forward to your donations, everybody. Thank you very much.
Bye,
Thank you.